What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bird Flock. We got a new guy this time. A guy that hasn't played in the CFL yet. He's new to the CFL. Reggie Stubblefield, man. I just want to thank you for taking the time hopping on with us, and let's get right into it here. Like I just said, you're new to the CFL, new to Canada, new to Montreal. First off, just tell us about you as a human being, you off the field.
Me as a human being off the field, man. As a kid early on, I just fell in love with the game of football. Always been around it. Always enjoyed watching it, learning it. Just wanted to know more about it, and just been a big fan of it. So football is just life to me. It's something I take a whole lot of pride in. And then just off the field, more is just somebody who's very involved in my community. Try to be the best friend, brother, cousin, relative, family member I can be. Just always looking out for other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good qualities having a human being, and exciting to see you come to Montreal and bring those qualities with you. Going into your career already in college and stuff, you started at Prairie View A&M, an FCS school. You ended up going to Kansas State, and as me and you were just talking before we started rolling, a couple guys in the draft that just went. I'm sure excited for you to see as an ex-teammate of them. But can you take us kind of into that transfer process that you had to go through from FCS to FBS?
Yeah, so the process after I decided to hit the transfer portal, it was a little bit smooth. It was a little bit better because by then I was already proven on the FCS level, and being an older guy with a lot of college experience behind me and on my belt, a lot of more teams were interested as far as the difference between when I came out of high school. I was very under recruited, very undersized at the time in my position. So I worked my way up through college, and I kind of always knew that I was going to one day get to the big ranks or the big leagues, the Power 5 teams that people talk about. And it was always part of my plan. I had a couple hiccups, a couple slow bumps in the road during my time in the FCS level. I had missed some years, so a lot of people sometimes question, the games in between or where I missed and how did that happen. So I had some time on the FCS level where I missed, but I always just been a great player on that level, and I dominated every game I was in. So I hit the transfer portal in 2021 after our spring COVID season because it had got pushed back from the fall. And after that, man, the phone just came ringing. Got in contact with a lot of Power 5 schools, and then I eventually fell in love with Kansas State. I felt like it was a perfect fit for me. I honestly feel like Kansas State in the situation that I went into is so similar to coming to Montreal. So that's what gives me a whole lot of excitement about being there in Canada. And man, it was just a smooth process. I was a vet. I was a mature guy, so I wasn't caught up in looking for the team with the best jersey or what team was going to give me this number or all this other stuff, man. I just wanted to go to a place where I can develop, reach my full potential, play some great football against some big competition, and just prove to NFL scouts and everybody else that I deserve to play on the next level professionally.
Mm-hmm. And I think your tape definitely speaks for that. I know I watched it right before we hopped on here, and I'm excited to have you in Montreal for sure. But kind of off the field, I know obviously it's pretty major, but can you just talk to us about the difference in FBS and FCS, whether it be the facilities and the stuff that the players have access to in the FBS compared to FCS?
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, truthfully, the biggest difference is just the money part of it. My time at Prairie View A&M, being at HBCU, who sometimes is underfunded in their athletic program, we didn't have, the protein shakes, the meals. We didn't have the extra gear or the extra support staff and members that we can go to for just extra things we may have need or just for more support and things to get better at. It's a big difference, man. When you talk about money, you talk about support, you talk about fans, alumni, and the money that they bring into these programs. And it's a night and day, honestly, man. It's crazy. A lot of JUCO guys talk about going to D1s, and it's the same thing, honestly, how I felt about going from FCS, Prairie View A&M, which is HBCU, to going to Kansas State University, Power 5 school. So it's a big difference, man, in every aspect that you can talk about it, as far as competition, as far as weight room structure of how programs are ran. And I just feel like it all goes back to just money being the big thing.
Yeah, and speaking of money, you were obviously in college before NIL and when NIL was coming in. So,
Mm-hmm.
how much has that really changed the game and changed the transfer portal? And we're seeing, a lot of smaller schools still get pretty big name guys ever since NIL came in. So how much do you think, you being seeing it firsthand, how much has it actually changed?
Yeah, I think it has changed the game a lot because these mid-level programs or lower-level programs are now able to truly just compete against the big schools. Just not talking about football, you see it on the basketball landscape too. If you watch college basketball, almost every team was competitive this year just because you're able to bring in a top transfer from a school, from a kid who may have been sitting on the bench at Alabama. Or now you're able to go get that top SES kid and bring him to your program and help. And that was one of the big things that Kansas State did. My time there, we brought in like 12 transfers, and all of us played and contributed to the team. And we brought so much success to the program. They did the same thing the next year, and that converted to them getting the Big 12 championship in a while. So it plays a big part, man. NIL is crazy, man. This money that usually was given under the table to these athletes, now it's in your face and you can't hide it. You know what I mean? You can't. There's nothing you can do about it, honestly. So if you got the money to go get a kid, it's a bidding war now, and that's what it is, truthfully. So it helps though. NIL, gives kids opportunities. It helps them while they're in college, feed their family or take care of extra needs that they do have or whatever. Because being a college athlete is tough. It is. You miss some things, you sacrifice some things. You're not like a regular student who can go get a regular job and have some money on the side. Sometimes you need that money in your pocket. So instead of just getting a semester check, now you're able to go help an organization or go help a community, a charity event, and get some money in your pocket. And it's really good though. It's very beneficial to the student athletes, and it honestly helps these small mid-tier programs.
Did you get involved in NIL? Did you, find something for
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah. So it was kind of tough on me because it was the first year when it happened, and NIL was kind of just getting started, and they was just figuring out how things was gonna, work and the legal rules about it and all that. So I got into a small couple deals, nothing major, nothing crazy. I had a McDonald's campaign that was running up for about a year and a half. That was really good. They paid me well, and just small things throughout the city of Manhattan, Kansas. So uh, nothing like these guys right now. Nothing like my guy Deuce Vaughn who just got drafted. No car deals. Nothing like crazy major. No Gatorade, Powerade. But it's gotten into some things that actually helped me during my time when I was in college.
And continue on, keep talking about you. I was reading up some articles preparing for this interview about you, and a coach kind of describes you as a Swiss Army knife. And like I said, watching your highlight tapes at K-State, you were all over the field. You played every position. I think you even got a couple starts at linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mhm.
what position you personally do you feel most comfortable in when you're out there on the field?
Honestly, I just feel comfortable playing football. Put me wherever you want. I'm gonna make it happen. As I mentioned earlier in the interview, man, I study football so much. I love the game of football so much. I coach on the side. I've been coaching on and off throughout my time when I have a break from college football, and wherever you want me at. I can say I exceed well closer to the box though, kind of in that nickel Sam role. So kind of like that hybrid DB, hybrid linebacker role. Just because I'm closer to the action, and you usually want your playmaker closer to the ball. Kind of like a Mike linebacker for teams, and just that nickel role, that nickel position is such a big thing in football nowadays because teams try to spread the ball out. And I'm just so happy to go to Canada and honestly play that same position for Montreal. Wherever they put me at, though, man, I'm just gonna give it my all and just, want to get settled in with the team and do my best. Just help them. But they say Canada is such a big game, big space field, so a lot of people was happy and excited for me to see what I can do. And just anything, man. Honestly, I play football. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger field than in America. But you see a lot of guys that they see the CFL kind of as a downgrade, and don't really want to come over, but now we're starting to see more Americans want to come over willingly. And how did your contract happen in Montreal?
Yeah, so honestly, man, I had a whole lot of NFL draft just conversations and talks with a lot of teams, but my situation is kind of different. You know, I had to kind of take the back road a little bit just because I was banged up. I was injured. So right now in pro sports, honestly, damaged goods are no goods, and availability is the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, teams eventually, you know, they get their guys that they bring in, and I honestly wanted to take the CFL route. I don't see it as a downgrade. I see it as another opportunity, and I see it, another opportunity to go do what I love. First of all, a team that's giving me the opportunity to go play what I love, and then just to go prove myself on a pro level. You know, at the end of the day, it's a professional sport. It's a professional team, professional environment. I've been hearing so many things about Canada, so just to go out there and just give it my all for no matter who I'm playing with. You know, I could be playing arena; it doesn't matter. That's where God is leading me at. That's where my feet is at right now. I'm gonna do the best and just exceed where I'm at right now. So I don't see it as a downgrade. I see more Americans honestly going to the CFL because a lot of guys that I didn't talk to down here, you know, they tell me that they love it. They tell me that the people are great. Um, they treat you well, and you can't ask for more as an athlete, you know.
Yeah, and there's a couple other teams in the CFL, obviously, but was Montreal really the only team to reach out to you, or did you have other offers or talk to other teams?
Yeah. So after I had left the XFL, like the last day of training camp, Montreal came hitting me up, buzzing my line, and after talking to the new coach and the DC and the special teams coordinator, I fell in love with it. I wasn't worried about no other CFL teams, honestly. I felt like it was a perfect match for me. They knew exactly what they wanted me to come in and do. They had lost some guys to free agency that they wanted me to replace. So just the opportunity, the fit, the culture that they're bringing up there, and the type of dudes that's in the locker room and the coaches that's around, I felt like it was perfect. So it wasn't no need for me to entertain anybody else.
That's really exciting to hear, man. That's music to my ears. Obviously, as an Al fan, and everybody that's listening, I'm sure they're gonna feel the same thing. But uh, about you personally here, I read that some of your teammates called you Sauce Boss. How did that nickname come up, and is that gonna follow you to Montreal, or are you leaving it out there?
Yeah, man. How did that come about? It came about at Kansas State one time. It was real funny because I'm sitting in my friend's house, Reggie. He actually got drafted last year by the Rams, and I'm hanging out with Julius Brents. He also just got drafted by the Colts the other day, and they're like, "Hey, man, look on your phone. Everybody calling you Sauce Boss." I'm just ignoring it. I'm like, okay, like I don't even know what that means. Like, what is that? Ain't nobody ever called me that before. They're like, nah, bro. I think they really like giving you a nickname, Sauce Boss. And it did come about because my grandfather it Stubbs Barbecue. It's a legendary barbecue sauce down here in America, and it's all around the world. We got a restaurant in China and Texas, so probably the barbecue scenario of it. And then, you know, my teammates used to always talk about, you know, how I cooked, and I used to cook meals for them, and we used to do so many things together. So I guess that combination of just my family history, you know, what I did on the side as far as cooking, enjoying that for my teammates, and then just playing the game with a type of swagger and confidence and just being a leader. You know, the moment I stepped in that program in Kansas State, the fans appreciate it. They put it together, and you know, it just rolled with it. You know, it just took it on from there. So they call me the Sauce Boss. It's a legendary name. They call me sometimes the best one and done player in a long time in Kansas State, and that they're so happy that they got me. So it's a blessing, man, and I take that name with pride.
There you go. I'm excited to hear it out here in Montreal too. But when I
Yeah,
saw it, I definitely had to ask. I thought it was a pretty funny nickname. So,
yeah,
um, and I know you said that you've obviously talked to Montreal about what's going on, and they have a vision for where they want to put you. Uh, they lost a lot of linebackers this year, and one of the best that they had just retired a couple of days ago, and Chris Hackey. You said that you're comfortable down in the box. Is that where they're looking to put you, kind of down in the box? Because the CFL is a game where, I don't want to say undersized, but that's the type of linebacker they have in that game, and guys that love tackling, kind of DBs that love tackling. a lot of them are switched up there. So is that where they're looking to put you?
Yeah, so just conversations early on and more recently, just putting me everywhere, honestly. Just making sure that I come into camp prepared and ready and shape, and then just seeing how things go from there. But they know that I'm a versatile guy. They know that I know it, and I'm not just saying it, and that I truly do it, and I put it on film throughout my years in college and just high school. So everywhere, man. If it's in the box and then that comes to the situation, they know that I'm comfortable enough to do that. Smart enough to play that side. And then if it's more out wide, split out, covering more receivers, I can do that as well. So just wherever it takes me, man, whatever the game comes into, the scenarios, and we'll see.
Yeah, and talking about that versatility, how do you even train for that, man? Like a lot of guys that have their one position, their training regimen is that, but you playing, let's say, safety or halfback and then linebacker, how is your training plan look when you're out there training on the field
Yeah,
or even
you're right, man.
practices?
Yeah, you're right about that. Even my time at K-State, man, I was splitting time, sometimes going with the linebackers. Then early on in my career, I was going with the corners. Then I was getting reps at the safety. So it is a split reps, and you have to be able to manage it well. And I do pretty good with managing when it comes to football and just focusing on the details and the things that I need to do. Like I said, man, I take a whole lot of pride in just learning the game and understanding the game. So, if after practice I'm in coach's office for 2 hours just studying, I'm gonna do that. If I need to work on some type of weight gain or weight loss to go cover faster receivers, or if I need to work on some twitch, some skill things, being in the box, I'm gonna do that, man. So I have a great schedule. I balance things out depending on who we're playing against and what they're looking for, as far as the coaches and me. So just a little bit of everything, man. You got to when you're a versatile guy.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to take too much more of your time here. Just a couple more questions. You can get back
Man, you
to
good,
watching
man.
a
You
couple more of
good.
your boys get drafted. But,
Yeah,
um,
you're right.
you know, in this league, like I said, there's so much versatility and so many guys that Americans that look at it as a downgrade and don't really buy into the system and are just here because it's they think they're going to use it to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do as a player and as a person to be successful in this league and to be successful for this team?
Honestly, man, I truly feel like no matter what you do in life, where you're at, you need to take full pride in it. No matter if you're just an equipment manager, no matter if you're just an analyst, uh, man, I could just be passing out water bottles, man. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm not looking at nothing like a downgrade. I'm looking at everything as a blessing and a great opportunity to go play football. And honestly, when I was talking to the head coach, I want to be in Montreal too. He talked about those things. He talked about how he wants guys to be here. He wants guys who are invested in the program and stuff like that. And I am. I'm all in. I'm all in for my teammates. I'm all in for the community. I'm all in for the staff. So I don't understand how guys look at things like that as a downgrade. I actually kind of get like a negative taste in my mouth. Honestly, it kind of rubs me wrong. I hate hearing negative things like that, but I don't see it as that, man. I'm taking it honestly as a blessing. This is an opportunity to where I get paid to do something I love, first of all, and I get to showcase my abilities and my talents to fans like you and people like you who, love Montreal and they love their team. So just give it my all, man.
Man, you got me fired up right now. I'm definitely happy that you're coming over here. And my
Yeah.
last question here for you is, I know obviously fans can see this and kind of learn about who the player you are and watch your highlight tape. But I want to give you the chance to tell Montreal what kind of player you are.
Man, you're getting a competitor. You're getting a guy with a whole lot of energy. You're getting a guy who is very smart. You're getting a guy who's a leader, somebody who cares, somebody who's just very invested in what he does and his craft. I'm gonna bring guys along with me. You're getting a sponge. You're getting somebody who's very interested in learning the city. I want to get around. I want to get to know the community. I want to shake hands. Some guys laugh and they say shake hands, kids, babies. Whatever I got to do, man. I just want to be part of Montreal. I want to be part of the community. I want to be a part of some place that accepts me for who I am. So, man, you're gonna get somebody who's gonna give it your all.
Yeah, and that's all I had for you. And like I said, man, you got me fired up. I'm real happy you're out here and you're gonna be rocking the Owls colors. And I can't wait to watch you play and grow as a player over here. And ultimately meet you out there on the field and keep running it with you. So thanks for taking the
Yeah.
time and let's get it this season.
Nah, let's get it, man. Most definitely, man. I hope we can, extend this even more, get on the podcast more, plenty of times throughout the year, keep you updated, tell you the insides and out, all that. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
appreciate it, man.
appreciate
Thank
that,
you
man.
for real.
Yeah, for sure. Let's keep this going, man.
Already. Thank you.